I'm David Rice here for JTV Sports to present this week's Ducks of Mid-Michigan Scholar Athlete of the Week, Kolton Heidrich from Grass Lake High School. Congratulations.
Thank you.
JTV thanks Ducks of Mid-Michigan for sponsoring this week's Scholar Athlete of the Week.
I'm back here with this week's Ducks of Mid-Michigan Scholar Athlete of the Week, Kolton from Grass Lake High School. So you do both soccer and powerlifting. Do you have a favorite? Which one better?
My favorite's probably soccer because I played it most of my life, probably since I was 6 years old. I just recently started powerlifting, but that's been pretty fun. But my favorite's probably soccer still.
So at what age did you start soccer, and when did you kind of have a moment where, this is the sport that I want to play and this is what I want to do?
I started playing soccer around 6 years old. I played for my local school, and I just fell in love with soccer there and just kept playing. And then I started club soccer later, and that just kept me playing soccer.
So what positions have you played in soccer? Have you played multiple positions or mostly at one?
I've played mostly defender, probably ever since club soccer. And then just recently in high school, I switched to playing forward my last 2 years.
Some of the words that your coaches have used to describe you: a team-oriented, a true leader, hard worker. How does that feel coming from the coaches and all the positive things that they've said?
Well, it feels pretty good coming from my coach. He always supports us in the best way, and hearing that is just great.
So the soccer coach mentioned to us before that you've had past injuries. You were injured last year, correct?
Yeah, I had Achilles tendonitis last year. That made it pretty hard to play, but I still played a little bit. And then the years before that, my sophomore year, I had a hip fracture and hip flexor tendon strain. So that put me pretty much my whole sophomore year I was out.
So how were you able to push through and stay healthy and come back to be able to play soccer for your senior? What was that like with the recovery?
Well, the recovery was pretty hard. After my hip healed, getting my Achilles back was a lot easier than my hip. But powerlifting helped a lot with that once I started powerlifting.
So this award, of course, is about being a scholar athlete. Talk about maintaining a high GPA and playing two sports, and how do you balance all of that?
Balancing school and sports for me has been not too hard, but it still takes a lot of hard work to make sure that you can keep your grade point up while playing. But I think if you just focus on getting all your assignments done, it gets a lot easier.
Any shout-outs or thank yous that you want to mention to anybody while we're here?
I'd like to shout out my coach, my soccer coach. He's been a big help in helping me recover and keep playing soccer. And I also like to shout out my parents. They come to all my games. They always support me in soccer and in school and life. And I also shout out my teammates. This year, I made a lot of new friends on the team, and they've just been great this year. Yeah.
So in addition to soccer and powerlifting, are there any other sports that you dabble in, or any other sports that you might want to try or consider maybe?
This year, I might do some track or golf. I've been thinking about trying golf this year, but I probably won't make the team. But I might do track.
Okay. So reading your bio, you wanted to study computer engineering, correct?
I used to, but I might switch to just normal engineering this year. I haven't changed my things.
So do you have a plan for what's next? Any colleges that you're looking at, or anywhere that you're committed? Do you have a set future plan for after your senior year?
I plan on going to college, but I'm not sure which one yet. I've made it into Indiana Tech, but that's about it so far.
Well, congratulations on being this week's Ducks of Mid-Michigan Scholar Athlete of the Week, Kolton Heidrich from Grass Lake High School.
If you'd like to nominate a scholar athlete, please email us at viewermail@jtv.tv.